I'm John Gleason, the Godless Engineer. Today I'm coming to you to discuss with you about this image that I found in our Facebook group, which you can visit down below via a link to Facebook. But today I'm coming to you and I'm wanting to talk to you about this one particular image that claims that science can only explain one of these images. Now, if you haven't actually looked up the scientific reasons behind the white and gold dress that you've been seeing, or well, rather, I guess blue and black, some of you might be seeing, but the scientific reason behind being able to see the two different colors is very, very simple. Now, when light hits a particular material and it reflects off, that material absorbs a certain amount of the colors in the visible light, right? And so it reflects the color that it doesn't absorb. And so basically, this picture was taken at just the right amount of light to where it mixes up a few different colors because of their wavelengths. Where some people might see white, others would see black. And the reason for this is because your eyes let in a certain amount of light, right? And so the more light that they let in, the more gold it's going to seem. The less light your eyes let in, the more black it's going to seem. The same goes for the white portion. The less light that you take in through your eyes, it's going to seem more blue. But then the more light that you take in, it's going to seem more white. So that's the reason behind that first image. It depends on how much light your eyes are actually letting in, because of the wavelengths of each of these colors, it's easy to confuse. Plus, the dress is taken at such a low light level that you can either see white and gold or blue and black. So yes, science can explain that one. But ironically enough, science can explain the other two images as well. Now, this middle image is the Shroud of Turin. If you're not familiar with the scientific reasons behind this as to why it's not, just miraculous and shit, the Shroud of Turin is 14 feet long by 3.5 feet wide. Now, before we actually get into the scientific, fallacies of this shroud, let's actually examine what we can see with our eyes first. Some have noted that the head on the shroud seems to be about 5% bigger than what it really should be. That in and of itself doesn't prove that it's a forgery, though. Some have also noticed that the nose is disproportionate to the rest of the head. That again doesn't exactly prove that it's a forgery, though. Also, another thing to note is that the arms seem to be too long for this body, as far as we know that humans normally grow. This has led some to theorize that it's actually a painting that somebody painted in order to put this pious hoax out there. Now, it's important to note that the first mention of this shroud didn't come until the late 16th century during the Crusades, when it was discovered. In 1988, the Vatican actually allowed the shroud to be scientifically examined by three professional places. One was Oxford University, the other was the University of Arizona, and the last one was the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. All three sources came back saying that no, this actually originated in the 1300s. Now, the shroud was actually in a fire in 1532. It was the Chambéry fire. Some have hypothesized that that is the reason why you get the 650-year-old reading rather than it dating back to when Christ was supposedly crucified. It's important to note that a carbon particle would actually have to be 2 times larger than it actually is in order to in order for it to actually be a first century shroud rather than the more accurate 14th century shroud. So you're assuming a lot. You're basically assuming that this shroud defies what we know of in chemistry. Not to mention the fact that these linen cloths, the shroud, were completely cleaned and debris free when they actually tested them. So there's no way that the fire could have, like, added more carbon to the entire shroud or whatnot. That's just fucking ridiculous. So, science can now explain two of these images in this picture. Now, for the third one, it's the Virgin of Guadalupe. Basically, this is how the story goes, right? So this Native American Indian named Juan came upon this hill, and apparently the Virgin Mary, which he immediately recognized as the Virgin Mary, uh, told him to build a church there. And so the guy, he goes and he talks to the head Christian motherfucker in charge in Mexico, and was like, "Hey, we need to build a church." And he was like, go get me proof. I'm not gonna waste all this money for some fucking thing that you made up. So what the guy does in order to get his church built is he goes back out, he sees the Virgin of Guadalupe, and she says, "Hey, go and get flowers from where there's not gonna be any flowers growing, but trust me, bro, they're there." So he goes and he checks it out and he actually finds some roses. He puts it in this like cloth, right? And he carries it back down to the head motherfucker Christian in charge down there. And he's like, see, I got these roses and that's proof. But in actuality, what the roses did was they magically painted this painting of the Virgin of Guadalupe on there. And so we built the church. So, what's more plausible though, if you really think about it? Which one really adheres to Occam's razor? Either this guy actually was talking to the Virgin Mary, and she got magical roses to paint a picture of herself on this cloth, or is it more likely that this guy just really wanted a church built, and so he made damn sure that he was going to get it? And when he went up there, he got roses, put it on this picture, and then he acted like the picture was just some kind of thing, and he carried it down there. When he let it go, look, it magically painted. Wow, which one's more plausible? Um, so basically, psychology would explain this last one, which is indeed a science, because I think it's more likely that this guy would have lied rather than magical flowers painting a picture of the Virgin Mary in order to build a church, one single fucking church. So there you have it. All three of these images can be perfectly explained by science, and this original picture is just plain and total bullshit. Hope you enjoyed the video. I made this really quick, and so if you liked it, go down below, hit the like button. Leave me a comment what you think about the original image that says that we can't explain this shit. And then if I messed something up, if I fucked up, let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to me, motherfuckers. Don't forget to